It's your boy, Peter the Great, official. I'm here live. We here at Break Pads. I think we are somewhere on East Point, Main Street. I'm going to interview a very close friend of mine, Marlo, photographer, went to high school with him. This is how we do it. I told you once again, we live. OneEbonyPlace.com. This is One Ebony Access. Marlo,
man, I'm doing good, man. Dude, Peter, man, it's so good to see you, man. I'm just happy to be hanging out. I mean, it's been a long time.
Long time, 93, this is crazy.
This is crazy for me, man. This is just great, man. Yeah, this is we at the Break Pad out here on Main Street, and man, what's going on, Peter? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. We you know, this is like one of our 5th, 6th interview with One Ebony Place.
Okay.
This is something live that we do. It's more direct. Trying to be personal with with our viewers. Just giving everybody the insight of what Banneker High School, along with many other people, are doing. We know you're doing photography, so we want to just let everybody know and explain, what you do, who you work with, the things that you're doing, and let the viewers know what's going on.
Okay. 1993, graduated from Banneker High School. Props to Banneker High School. I always had this interest in photography, and nobody really knew this about me, but when I was 12 is when I really picked up the camera for the first time. My dad had this, 35mm camera. I thought it was cool, and I was like, man, how you work that? What is that about? And I was like, I tell you what, for the following Christmas, you don't have to get me nothing else. I want one of those, And he was like, all right, well, let me see what I can do, and let's see if we can put some prices together and see what we can do, you know what I mean? Because it was, it was an expensive thing to try to get into, and but anyway, I ended up getting that camera like the following year, and from the time I was probably 12 to the time I was 18, I probably took like one roll of pictures, man, with that camera, because I couldn't afford to take pictures with it. It was like film and processing and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
But I still maintained that interest, and I was like reading everything I could about photography, and so I cut my teeth just like absorbing all the information that I could. And then once I got to Clark Atlanta University after graduation, I started assisting commercial photographers around town. I joined the newspaper, and freshman year, man, in Clark, man, I became like the photo editor of the newspaper, and it was kind of by default. It wasn't like, oh, I had talent and skills, and oh, here, you deserve this photo editor position. It was more like our photo editor just quit, and we need somebody to fill this position like right away, and we don't know how to work a camera. I was like, well, I've been reading about a camera, so and I want to be a photographer, so they was like, okay, you hired, you got the job. And I was like, yeah, all right, cool, let's get it cracking, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like stumbling into that. But man, what opened up my eyes, man, is I was in college, and I was dating this girl, actually, who was in like some TV commercials and in some magazine commercials, and she had worked with this commercial photographer. She was like, man, I got somebody that you need to meet, that I think would really, show you the way, open up your eyes to like what it means to be a photographer, like what the potential is, or it's not just on some prom photos. What you can really do. And I was like, okay, cool, just let me know. So she took me by this dude's studio, just on, she made a phone call and was like, hey, I want somebody to meet you. I think you could be an inspiration to her. We went by there, man, and it just like blew my top off. Like what this guy was doing. Also, the fact that he was an African American photographer locally here in town. I had never seen that before, and it just kind of like put into perspective for me that what the possibilities was. Because I was kind of just going off my own head as to like, man, I want to be a photographer. As far as I knew, I wanted to be National Geographic. All over the world in the jungles, underneath like anacondas. Trying to get
exactly.
Trying to get stuff like that. Exactly. I didn't know that you can have a studio and you can shoot celebrities and music and all those things that kind of made sense to me, because man, I had this super love for like music, man. I'm like a music fanatic, and so I was already kind of like friends with some real solid music cats. Like we went to school with this guy named Marlo, man, who flipped off into, you know, neo soul, you know, being into like the neo soul scene, and we was into like house music, man. We would like dance house music in the hallways of high school. We was like, you know, misfits a little bit, you know. We was kind of eccentric for what it means to be eccentric in like the hood, you know what I mean? And at the same time, we were still trying to figure out what the next level was. But anyway, that love of music and photography introduced me to cats in the music industry and that whole like soul music scene. So I got to know people like India Reed and Van Hunt, and at the same time, you know, it's not just about neo soul, man. I have a love for like, I mean, crunk music, Miami bass music. I mean, you know, geek dancing. You know what I mean? Back in the, I mean, and house dancing. You know what I mean? It's about being multifaceted, multi-layered, whatever. So I end up shooting, you know, people like Little John. I mean, I've shot, you know, I've shot a lot of rap artists as it relates. You know, I did this one gig for Microsoft, and I shot in this suite at the Intercontinental Hotel doing like hip hop, BET Hip Hop Awards or whatever. And man, I mean, I got a chance to shoot like The Game and Little John and Unk and Mims, and I mean, all, you know, the who's, man, like at this time, you know, a couple of years ago. So that kind of spun off into shooting hip-hop artists. I've shot, you know, CD packages, you know, a lot of music publicity stuff. So I do like music publicity work, headshots. You know, I do even products, man. I've shot purses and handbags and shampoo bottles, and at the same time, you know, be like behind stage at a concert, man, like shooting, you know, some artist in a dark alleyway or something like that. You know, my goal is just to try to be